The most scariest day of prison is the day they let you go. Because now, for the first time in my life, I gotta be somebody that I never was based off of all the promises I made to my mom, my grandma, your sister, your brother, everything that you made, everything that you took. Yeah, I changed, I'm this. You never was that person before, so now when you walking out, I'm sitting there and I'm in the reception area, put my clothes on, ready to leave, and I'm like, they give you your birth certificate, your state ID, because they help you get it while you're in jail. Everything that you order while you're in jail being your personal property up front, and they give it to you finally. So I'm looking at my birth certificate, my social security card, my real ID, because it's the first time in my life I got real ID. I never had ID in it before in the streets. I just ran around and do me. So now I got my ID. I'm like, because now it's like, now you got to be a responsible man. You got to be a real citizen. You got to pay taxes. You got to obey the law. So it's like, when I'm looking at this ID, I'm like, so I never forget, as I'm walking out, I was walking out slow. Because I'm like trying to process, like, damn, I got to go out here. I don't want to come back. Am I really the person that I said I am? Am I going to be able to stay committed to the promise that I made myself, my family and everything in prisons? I'm going to stay committed to that when times get hard outside, when I run into the homies, when I get offers to sell drugs, to do crime and all that, whatever, when the homies, am I going to be able to fight that off?
You know, we have an intense reentry program. It's a 2-year reentry program generally. Takes you through sometimes getting your record expunged so you can get a right to vote. The other issue is most people won't let you get an apartment. Most people won't hire you. Most people don't trust you. The baby you saw when you went in is now an adult when they come out. The girlfriend has been through a couple of marriages when you get out. There's a lot of trauma in the family and in the world. I have talked to inmates who were formerly incarcerated who were looking at the Apple phone saying, you know, what is this? I was trying to find a phone booth. The whole world has changed up under your feet. So not only are you dealing with those emotional changes, you're dealing with those sociological changes, and the changes, the family you come back to is not the family that you left, and they have been traumatized. Did you find that trauma, were you so full of your own trauma that you weren't sympathetic to the trauma of your family?
I was. What happened is, one of the things that happened, and because you be in so many different places, because you got to come home, and most people are stuck in a time that don't exist no more based off of when you go to jail. You're stuck in that time you went to jail. If you went to jail in 82, you went to jail in 96, and it's now you're stuck in that time frames. You don't really know. Something that happened to me that changed it up for me was that I had got a cell phone in prison. And that's when I started that's when Wallo267 became alive on social media and everything, and I just started seeing the world. And this is in 2013, around 2013. So I had it for like a year, from 2013 for like 14 months to 2014, and I was just tapped into the world in a different way. So I was preparing myself even. I ain't come home in 2017, but one of the things that happened when I came home, and it was this personal thing because my brother, my big brother got shot, and he got killed. And when he got shot on a birth block, the block with the street that we was born on. He ran to my grandmother's house. My grandma come to the door. He fall in her arms. He said, "What happened?" And he died in my grandma's arms in the house that we grew up in, right? And so I remember when I came home, and I came home, the first day I came home, my grandma, I moved to Nanny house, and I'm living in the middle room. Rest in peace to my Aunt Ruby. My Aunt Ruby wound up passing in that middle room. This is my grandma, my sister, and she was something else. She was just funny, but she's the only person I used to get with my grandma. She ain't play, but it was crazy. But so I go and I'm in a room. She got me a nice bed, dresser, and all this nice. So I'm just in there, and I'm just sitting there, you know. And I just go down the steps because my grandma's sitting in this chair near the door. And I'm like, "Nanny, where's Steve at?" And I forgot. You know what I'm saying? I forgot, and it was just like and I sat on the steps, and I'm Nanny like right down the steps, and I'm looking at her, and she just watering up. And it hit me. that Steve been gone, for years now, but I'm so used to when I come home, where's Steve at? Because I always been in the system to where I'm always coming home. I'm the one that did more time than Steve, even though that's my big brother. So it just messed me up. But then I seen as I used to walk the streets of Philadelphia, because I always will walk the streets when I come home and listen to my music, and I see something funny or whatever, and I'd be saying to myself, wait till I tell Steve this. Mm-hmm. It just was a reaction. So it's like I'm going through that, and then I'm seeing the things that everybody just going through by life.
Right.
And I had to let people know that, because a lot of people, when I came home, I used to say some crazy stuff to people based off of my imagination. I used to say, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And even in prison sometimes, I say, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that. I had to realize that from going to prison at 17, coming out 37, something that I had that most people didn't have in the free world was that my imagination at 17 was the same at 37, because prison fortified me going through real life. Right. Heartbreak, losing jobs, the stuff that you go through see, people don't understand. The everyday life thing is hard. Somebody say, man, I went to jail, that's hard. No, living is hard. Mm-hmm. Getting fired, trying to find a job, trying to provide for kids, that's hard. I did 20 in prison, whereas though I knew that I had 3 meals coming to me every day. Right. I knew that I had heat, water, electric. I knew that I had that. But being in the real world for 20 years, that's wear and tear. And what it do is, as you had kids, as your heart get broke, as things happen, as you're trying to battle, your imagination start to fade away. Mm-hmm. So when I'm coming out at 37 from 17, I got imagination of a 17-year-old kid. I believe I could do anything.
Right, right.
I'm coming home, no kids. I'm still like I'm young. I'm like, yeah, man, I still have dreams.
So part of trauma, psychology teaches part of trauma, your life stops at the point of your most traumatic experience.
Yes.
So even though your body gets older, your mind is still there. Yeah. Whether you were a 12-year-old being molested, mm-hmm. or whether you're 17 coming out of incarceration, you might be 37, but you're seeing, you're processing like a 17-year-old, yeah. because you have been incubated in this furnace of affliction. Yes. One of the things that we have tried to do is to develop programs that make us a midwife to help you to make the transition, mm-hmm. and make that transition more possible for formerly incarcerated people not to be treated like they are a disease, yes. Resulting in lowering the rate of recidivism we have one of the lowest rates of recidivism in the country. Mm. We have shut down 5 prisons in the state of Texas over the time that I have been here. We have been able to take people and help them to make that transition. What I want you to understand, by the way, if you just joined us, we are listening at the author of this new book, Armed with Good Intentions, Wallo267. You need to go out and get it right now and read it. It's a page turner that you won't stop. You won't get no sleep that night. You're going to be reading like it's you or like it's your son. And you're going to understand what he's saying right now. He is telling us why people go back to jail. They go back to the familiar. Because coming out here into the real world where the rules are different and often not written, mm-hmm. is a very scary thing. One thing about prison, it had order, it had descriptions. You knew what time to do this, you knew what time to do that. You didn't have to make decisions for yourself. You didn't have to be responsible. And the scary thing, he was just as scared of freedom as he was incarceration. And I thought that was a very interesting point to make, because a lot of people out here don't understand why we're having so much trouble lowering the rate of recidivism. It is primarily because when they shut that door and you're now on the outside, it's like stepping out into Mars.